Bhaktivedanta Manor. Now Vishnupada Paramahamsa Bhaktivedanta Manor. Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Namatharya Siddhanta Vyasa Kavasri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki Vyasa Sri Krishna Gopa Bhaktivedanta Shyama Kundara Bhaktivedanta ki Vrindavan Dham ki Raghunath Dham ki Uttara Naksatra Dham ki Ganga Mai ki Yamuna Mai ki Tulsi Maharani ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Samavara Bhaktivedanta ki all grace to some devotees, all grace to some devotees, all grace to some devotees, all grace to Shri all grace to Shri Namaste Narasimhaya Hari Hari Bol.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Gokulanda ki, Sitaramachan Hanuman ki, Gaunitai ki, Bhagavad Gita ki, Jai Samaveda Bhaktivedanta ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, text 12. Okay. You got a copy of Gita? I got a copy here, you can use this. Okay. 412, yeah? 412. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the title of the chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Okay, ready? Kang Kang Santa Kamanam Siddhim. Kang Santa Karmanam Siddhi. yajantam iha devata sitram hi manusham loke siddhi bhavati karmaja kang santa karmanam siddhi yajanta iha devata siptram hi manusham loke siddhi bhavati karmaja kang santa karmanam siddhi yajanta hiya devata siptram hi manusham loke siddhi bhavati karmaja kangsta karmana siddhi yajanta hiya devata sitram hi manushe loke siddhi bhavati karmaja kang mana siddhi hiya devata sitram hi manushe loke siddhi bhavati karmaja. Word for word, kang santa, desiring, karmanam, of fruitive activities, siddhim, perfection, yajante, they worship by sacrifices, iha, in the material world, devata, demigods, Sipram, very quickly, he, certainly, Manusha, in human society, Loke, within this world, Siddhi, success, Bhavati, comes, Karmaja, from fruity work. Translation proper by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Srila Prabhupada's purport. There is a great misconception about the gods or demigods of this material world. And men of less intelligence, although passing as great scholars, take these demigods to be various forms of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the demigods are not different forms of God, but they are God's different parts and parcels. God is one, and the parts and parcels are many. The Vedas say, Nityo Nityanam, God is one. Ishvara Parama Krishna, the Supreme God is one, Krishna. And demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. These demigods are all living entities, Nityanam, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayan, Vishnu or Krishna. Anyone who thinks that God and the demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or a pasandi. Even the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva cannot be compared to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by demigods such as Brahma and Shiva, Shiv Vichidintam Nutam. Yet curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of authorparism or Zoomerparism. Iha Devata donates a powerful man or demigod of this material world. But Narayan, Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not belong to this world. He is above or transcendental to material creation. Even Sripad Sankaracharya, the leader of the impersonalists, maintains that Narayan or Krishna is beyond this material creation. However, foolish people, Hita Jnana, worship the demigods because they want immediate results. They get the results, but do not know that the results so obtained are temporary and are meant for less intelligent persons. The less intelligent person is in the intelligent person is in Krishna consciousness, and he has no need to worship the paltry demigods for some immediate or temporary bit benefit. Demigods of this material world as well as the worshippers will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. The boons of demigods are material and temporary, but both the material world and the inhabitants, including demigods and the worshippers, bubbles in the cosmic ocean. In this world, however, human society is mad after improved temporary things such as material opulence or possessing land, family, and enjoyable paraphernalia. To achieve such temporary things, people worship demigods or powerful men in human society. If a man can get some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. All of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders of big guns in order to achieve temporary boons. And they indeed achieve such things. Such foolish men are not interested in Krishna consciousness for permanent solution to the hardships of the material existence. They are all after sense enjoyment, and to get a little facility for sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worship demigods. Demigods, empowered living entities known as demigods. This verse indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. They are mostly interested in material enjoyment, and therefore they worship some powerful living entity. Om Agyanti Mandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chakshurumilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapina Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Padantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there was one German scholar. He became Prabhupada's godbrother. He took initiation from Bhaktivedanta Thakur, I think. And he went to India to find out who is the supreme God. So he saw all the demigods, they're doing some kind of work. Goddess Kali was killing the demon. Lord Shiva was chanting of beads. Durga Devi had many weapons in her hands. So when he saw Krishna playing the flute, he concluded this must be God. Because he's not doing any work, he's enjoying. So this is the thing, how Krishna is the supreme Lord. He has nothing to do. And the demigods are just working under his management. But unfortunately, people are so less intelligent sometimes. They do so much austerity to please demigods. There was one devotee, Padma Lochan Prabhu. He left his body in Mayapur some time back. I heard one of his classes in Mayapur. He was saying how one person was worshipping Indra to achieve a great result. And when he got Indra's blessings, Indra said, "You can become demigod in charge of the ears." But Padma Lochan Prabhu made a point in his class that if people put that same austerity into pleasing Krishna, they'll achieve so much perfection. They will achieve so much more. Even we see how 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we see the glories of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, how one devotee was reading the first 5 chapters, first 5 verses, the 18th chapter every day. And his goal was to become Indra. So when his time of death came, the Vishnudutas asked, what do you want to achieve? He said, I want to become Indra. So Lord Vishnu, he took the other Indra out of his position and put the devotee as Indra. And the other Indra went to Lord Vishnu and he complained. He said, look, I didn't have to Ashwamedh Yajnas. So he hasn't done anything. Why are you putting him into my position? So Lord Vishnu said, he pleased me. This was his desire. So then this Indra, he read all 18 chapters. Then the Vishnudutas came to him and asked him, what do you want? He said, I want to go back to Vaikuntha. So from that we can learn how, the spiritual world is the place for you can get full satisfaction. So even demigods are not fully satisfied in their positions, in one sense. They are trying to achieve more and more. And we see that in the example of Gop Kumar, when he went to the different higher planets, at some point he became Indra, and he found in the heavenly planets, when the enjoying mentality became very strong, Lord Vishnu would disappear. So he didn't feel fully satisfied. He gave it that position of Indra. At some point he became Brahma. And even as Brahma, he felt, because even in Brahmaloka there is non-devotees there also. People achieve perfection in Brahmaloka through jnana and karma and these kind of things. And even sannyasis who have become renunciants in over 100 lifetimes, they achieve Brahmaloka like that. So Gopkumar didn't feel fully satisfied as Brahma, being Brahma. He felt some lacking was there. So we can see from this how even the position of demigods is so much opulence there, there's a lot of distraction, that you can't focus on your spiritual practices. So we see with Lord Shiva, he's an expansion of Krishna in one sense. The only example is like milk and yogurt. He's doing a different role in the material world to uplift humanity, for them to achieve perfection. He's doing a thankless task. So there's one pastime of Lord Shiva, how the demigods, they had a festival in a big place in the heavenly planets, and Parvati wanted this big palace. So they did this festival there. And then Lord Shiva, he just renounced the place. He said, I don't want to give it back to demigods. And he went back living under a tree. So he can meditate on Lord Shankarshan. So we can see how even the advanced demigods who are like fixed in Krishna consciousness, they have no desire to enjoy the opulence in the heavenly planets. And also the other thing is with even we see in the material world how there are people who are very rich and they don't take interest in Krishna consciousness so seriously. They're too enamored by their opulence, and we've seen even even in ISKCON, where rich people, they take to Krishna consciousness, then their children want to become brahmacharis or want to become more serious, and the parents don't allow it. They take them away. So we can see like this how opulence can be an impediment in spiritual life. Opulence for advanced devotees is, they know how to use, but for those who are neophytes, it can be impediment. That's why he says, Brahmanas, their austerity is renunciation. They only keep what they have to keep, but the rest they give for preaching purposes, to help others in Krishna consciousness. So even as members of the Krishna conscious movement, we, as practitioners of spiritual life, we have to be very careful in our principles. Prabhupada says there's nothing wrong with opulence, but the general tendency is, once opulence is coming, it's easy to forget Krishna. So this is why a Brahmana remains renounced. That's part of his austerity. He doesn't take on opulences. He takes on what he needs to serve Krishna, that's it. There was one king of Krishna Nagar, he saw a Brahmana somewhere, and he found his Brahmana was living very simple life. So this king of Krishna Nagar, he wanted to help this Brahmana, and he went to him in disguise. He said, "Can I serve you in any way?" And the Brahmana said, "I'm happy with what I have. My disciples cook for me rice, I eat simple. I don't need anything." Even Jayadev, same thing happened. I think one king from Mayapur, he was living in the side of Mayapur, and one king went to him and he said, he recognized who Jayadev was from his poetry, and he said, "Is there any way I can serve you?" And Jayadev, to test the king out, he said, I think you're in the position of a king, you're not really a serious devotee, and why would you hold the position of a king? And so this king was humble. So Jayadev said, "Actually, I was testing you. I see you're an advanced devotee. But me being a Brahmana, I like to be simple. I don't like to take on opulences. So this is what we have to practice: simplicity. And by this, our goal will be clear. Our goal to achieve the goal will be clear, because bhakti can only be given to Krishna. It cannot be given to demigods. It's actually to please demigods, you have to do big sacrifices. Otherwise, it's hard to please them. But to please Krishna, you just need to give devotion to Krishna. He just wants your devotion. So, there's an interesting quote I read in Nectar of Devotion to give the comparison a little bit. Okay. This is from Nectar of Devotion, Qualities of Krishna, 185. It is said that because Krishna was constantly performing various types of sacrifices and was inviting the demigods from the higher planetary systems, demigods were almost always absent from their consorts. Therefore, the wives of demigods, regretting the absence of their husbands, began to pray for the appearance of Lord Buddha, Krishna's ninth incarnation, who appears in the age of Kali. In other words, instead of being pleased that Lord Krishna had come, they had begun to pray to Lord Buddha, who is the ninth incarnation. Because Lord Buddha stopped the ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices recommended in the Vedas in order to discourage animal killing. Demigods' wives thought that if Lord Buddha appeared, all kinds of sacrifices would be stopped, and thus the husbands would not be invited to such ceremonies and would not be separated from them. Sometimes it is inquired, why don't the demigods from higher planetary systems come to this earth planet nowadays? The plain answer is that since Lord Buddha appeared and began to dissipate the performance of sacrifice in order to stop animal killing, on this planet the process of offering sacrifice has been stopped, and demigods do not care to come here anymore. So that shows that unless you offer sacrifice, you can't please demigods. And even we see with Lord Krishna's pastimes how when Rukmini got the Parijata flower, Satyabhama wanted a flower as well. Nature women, they want to have equal. So when Krishna went there, he took Rukmini to heavenly planets on Garuda or chariot, whatever. First Satyabhama asked Sachi Devi, Indra's wife, can I have the Parijata tree? And she wouldn't agree. Then she asked Indra wouldn't agree. Then Krishna, being wanted to please his wife, he fought with the demigods and he forcefully took the tree down to Dwarka. So that shows that even demigods are self-interested, that they're not willing to do pure devotional service. They have their own interest in the heart. They want to fulfill their own ambitions. So it's but as devotees, we have to be convinced that Krishna is always protecting us. We don't need to worry about other people doing their austerities, because even demigods can't do anything without Krishna's sanction. Even their powers they have is all under Krishna's sanction. Like there's an interesting story I heard in this is in the history of Ujjain. How the story about how when Sati was burnt in the fire, isn't it? She couldn't tolerate Daksha's offending Lord Shiva, and she created a fire within her body and she burnt herself, isn't it? So Lord Shiva was very angry at that time. So he took that body of Sati and was dancing. He's doing the dance of destruction. This is mentioned in the history of Ujjain. It's not given in the Bhagavatam, 4th canto. So Lord Shiva was going to destroy the whole universe. He was very angry. He was just doing the dance of destruction. So Lord Vishnu thought, it's not time for the universe to be destroyed. Why is Lord Shiva dancing like this? So he got his Sudarshan Chakra and he sent it towards cutting Sati's body in 51 places. So these bones from Sati's body fell in 51 places, and one of them fell in Ujjain. The deity of Durga Devi is there where that bone fell. So We can see ultimately even demigods are under Krishna's control. They can't do anything without his sanction. So for the devotees, the demigods are ready to assist the devotees for helping them go back to Godhead. So as practicing devotees, we have to respect the demigods. We cannot disrespect them also at the same time, because they're Krishna's servants. In Singapore, when devotees went first time, the Hindu community, they were into worshiping demigods. And devotees didn't show proper respect to demigods. And for that, Chinese government, there was something, Muslim government, they made it difficult for devotees to come into the country. So, important to give respect to demigods as Krishna's servants. But like he said in the purport, like those who do worship demigods, they have to take birth in the material world again. Unless they worship demigods as Krishna's servants, like King Bharat did, then they can also attain liberation. There's an interesting quote. Srila Bhaktivedanta Manor gives on this point about demigods and difference between demigods and Krishna. Are the words devotional service applicable only to the Supreme Lord? Lord Vishnu is no one's order supplier, but is a master of all order suppliers. Since Lord Vishnu is worshipable for everyone, the words devotional service can apply only to him. The words devotional service cannot apply to demigods, even though the demigod worshippers falsely attribute those words to their practices. When we worship demigods, we want religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification or liberation. When we worship Vishnu, we attend only to what Vishnu wants. The Supreme Lord, bhakti and devotee are sewn with the same thread. Devotional service is the by media between Lord and his devotees, and the Lord is object of devotees' worship. The devotees are Lord's servants. Demigods are not God but jivas. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Ekala Ishvaras Krishna Ara Sava Pritya Ya Yeche Niche Se Yache Nitya. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them do so. The Padma Purana states, Hari eva sudat vidya sarva devastisa svara ita brahma rudraya nimaja kadak chana yastu nayana devam brahma rudani devata samatvena viksheta se pasanti bhavate dhruvam. Lord Hari alone is the supreme worshipable object. He is the controller of all the controllers. Demigods like Brahma and Shiva are subordinate to him, yet they should never be disrespected. A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on equal level with Narayan is considered an offender. The scriptures declare that service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is devotion. But at present, the word bhakti is being misinterpreted and misused. People have come to think that it means devotion to father, king, or school teacher. If we do not know what devotional service is and through which medium it is to be performed, we will find ourselves in trouble. Serving the Lord Hari, the master of all senses, without senses is called devotional service. In the Naira Pancharatra stage, Sarva Padi Mukta, Tatpada Nivranamana, Rishikena Rishevans Bhakti Uchate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freedom from all material designations, and the other is that one's senses are purified simply by employed in the service of the Lord. Lord Gauranga states in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anya Pracha Anya Puja Chadi Jana Karma Anukule Savadra Krishna Nu Silanam Iha Siddha Bhakti Ihaita Prema Hiya Pachitra Bhagavati Hi Lakshana Kaya. A pure devotee must not cherish any desire other than to serve Krishna. He should not offer worship to demigods or to mundane personalities. He should not cultivate artificial knowledge, which is devoid of Krishna consciousness, and he should not engage himself in anything other than Krishna conscious activities. One must engage all one's purified senses in the service of the Lord. This is a favorable execution of Krishna conscious activities. These activities are called Sudha Bhakti, pure devotional service. If one renders such pure devotional service, he develops his original love for Krishna in due course of time. These symptoms are described in various literatures like Pancharatra, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-11-12 states. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind at once attracted to hearing and the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of Ganges flows naturally towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material conditions, flows towards the Supreme Lord. Any comments or questions? In Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaloka says transcendental. To my understanding, this refers to Lord Vishnu's abode. There is a Brahmaloka also referring to Lord Vishnu's abode. But according to Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma Bhavana Loka Puna Abartina Arjuna Mama Patir Kuntena Na Punya Avidyate, that from the highest planet down to the lowest, all are places of miseries. So even Brahma Loka gets destroyed at the end of the annihilation. But even maybe the material creation, there are certain planets where Lord Vishnu is residing, never gets destroyed. It stays there. Yeah. Okay. Antaraj में Bhagavad Gita की जाए, Prabhupada की जाए.